Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy burstzgyt back here, and today we are talking about Spider-Man No Way Home ticket drops. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have already attempted getting your tickets, and some of you may have been successful, and some of you may have failed. The failing part is not on you, of course. Um, Definitely, before we get into the video, let me know down below if you actually got your tickets or not. By necessary means of using actual websites, not from people selling it on eBay. And how do you feel about that? But we'll get into that a little bit in the end of the video. But I wanted to talk about this a little bit. I'm not going to go over the whole article. I just thought the headline was pretty interesting because amidst all the chaos, this is what they kind of took out of that a little bit. So essentially, as soon as 9 o'clock hit, and for me, it was 9 o'clock. I'm over here in Pacific Standard Time. So at Eastern Standard Time, 12 o'clock, I think, that's when it dropped for them. And every site pretty much started just crashing. You know what I mean? At least for me, Fandango and AMC definitely started crashing. Other sites I heard started crashing in different, parts of the States, some other places in like Canada and whatnot. The sites were just off and on, or just crashing, right? I think it is a good thing that it happened in a way. Like, you can look at it and say, yes, the fact that many people looked at it and wanted to purchase tickets says a lot about how hype they are about watching this movie. Regardless of the fact that a lot of the spoilers have been out, you know what I mean? They still want to see the movie. It's one of the most hyped things of the year, if not almost of all time, to be honest. I mean, it's a Spider-Man movie featuring the multiverse and potentially other Spider-Man characters, and finally featuring, core Spider-Man villains in one movie all together. You know what I mean? So it's definitely up there to be one of the best movies, at least for Marvel, in my opinion, of all time. Just from the hype, right? Now it definitely could not end up that way, but I just feel like based off the hype right now, it definitely could. But we have to talk about like the downsides of all this, right? Like, as soon as that hit, everything was just down and everybody was freaking the fuck out. I personally sat here trying to get my tickets, and I was just trying to get one at first because I am planning to take people to go watch the movie, but I needed to just get one, you know what I mean? Like, hopefully that there were seats available, because you don't know, like, people in your area, like, if they're really like trying to get the tickets early or not, like how much they really care about it. So you want to kind of be on it as soon as you can if you really care, you know what I mean? So I kept trying to refresh my queues, refresh Fandango, refresh AMC. Nothing. And AMC decided to start doing the whole queue thing, like, I want to say at least 45 minutes to an hour after the chaos. Like, it wasn't just something that randomly like was there when you first tried to get tickets. Like, no, you had to wait, go through the chaos for it to happen. And even then, when you got in those queues, it would take you at least more than an hour to finally get somewhere, because it would say you're like at 14 or 10 minutes and then would jump to like 45 minutes for some reason. It was quite odd. And even then, they were having issues when you did get into purchase your tickets. The seats were saying like it doesn't have any nodes available, or it can't complete the order. People were getting charged extra. It was quite crazy. And I think it just pissed a lot of people off, because yes, a lot of people are obviously interested in the movie, but how do you not anticipate this much people being interested in the movie? If you've got so much hype surrounding it, I think you should be a little bit extra prepared. Like, granted, Avengers Endgame and like they mentioned their Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, like, those movies may not have done what No Way Home is doing, but they still garnered a lot of attention. But I think that you got to really pay attention to like the fan base. Like, people are hungry for this movie. Look at how hungry we were for just a trailer, a title. You know what I mean? Like, if you pay attention to that, clearly this was going to be a different case. And I think the fact that they weren't ready for it kind of like says a lot, that this movie and everything about it, they don't expect to see like this big of a turnout. And honestly, I think this movie is probably going to be one of the top MCU movies of all time. Potentially. It could be up there in the top 3 or top 1. You know what I mean? We'll see. I personally think it'll be Endgame. That's just my opinion. Um, but yeah, that was just some crazy shit, right? And to kind of go even crazier, people started putting their tickets out on fucking eBay and shit, talking about selling it for $25,000. Like, I hope to God nobody really sat there and was like, I can't get the No Way Home tickets. I have to buy them on eBay. No, you don't. They're taking advantage of the situation. People, okay, the legit people who are not joking, obviously, are taking advantage of the situation that, yes, these sites are down or they're not working. You can't get your tickets, etc., etc., etc. Or they're going to the theater and buying like fucking 20, 30 tickets just to kind of sell them. Don't be dumb. Don't fall for it. Just like wait. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's going to go out of their way to like fucking buy out a whole theater, let them waste their money, bro. Like let them do it. You know what I mean? They're not going to fucking sit there 30 fucking tickets. Like that's dumb. You know what I mean? So don't even think about it. You know what I mean? Just wait, because at a certain point, yes, some of these websites started actually cooling down. You could actually get in there very quickly and you didn't even have to wait for a queue. You could just go in and buy the ticket. It was after like the calm after the storm. You know what I mean? Everybody that was like charging through that kind of finally backed off. And I think everything started to chill out a little bit as, you know, the night progresses on, because like for me, it's 1:43 right now. For some people, it's like fucking 4 a.m. You know what I mean? Like people are going to sleep. They're not trying to stay up all night for this shit unless they got the day off. So it did start cooling down a little bit. And that's how personally I was able to get my tickets, not through my usual means of how I get my tickets, but still got them officially, right? It's just about the patience part, man. Like I think the patience part was something that nobody could really handle for this. Like too much hype. And having that too much hype factor, like, really makes you concerned that you're not going to be able to see it when you know, want to get your ticket and you want to see the movie on that opening night or whatever, opening weekend, because you don't want to be spoiled. Like, that's the thing. I think they're even having, like, early screenings now. Like, and fucking shit's probably going to get fucking spoiled on your timeline. So that's also another thing. Be careful about that. Might want to, like, you know, mute some words or delete your search history and stuff like that on your social media so you can kind of scramble your recommendations and whatnot, because shit's about to get fucking real. So yeah, that shit was just entirely crazy to me. And this article, I wasn't planning to go over anything. I just thought the headline was pretty interesting because I wasn't looking at it in that perspective at first. I was just looking at it in the perspective of this fucking shit's crazy. Like they weren't ready at all and they just let everything go to hell. But it's kind of evened out a little bit right now. So definitely, if you're still having trouble getting tickets, take a breather, come back to it. The likelihood that your theater is completely sold out depends on how like high impact your area is. And like, I think you can use different websites to kind of track and see like, oh no, it's not actually sold out. You know what I mean? Like Fandango, they had their seats available. Like you can still see. And for the most part, even though it didn't seem like it was updating, you can kind of tell that, you know, seats weren't always being taken. It just looked like it because they were fucking giving you a timeout error, so it would X out all the fucking seats. But yeah. Anyways, I hope this video was somewhat interesting and kind of bring a conversation that we can talk about. So in the comments, definitely talk about like your experience getting these tickets and maybe how long it took you, or like was it frustrating, or you know, what did you do to kind of get your tickets? Because I'm sure other people, if they're still struggling right now, would like to know. So I will catch you guys in the next video. It's actually going to be pretty busy this week because Spider-Man comes out on Marvel's Avengers. So you'll definitely see more Spider-Man talk there. Also, I'm going to probably be talking about a little bit of No Way Home. Maybe. We'll see. I think this was the first time I've really talked about No Way Home since like some of those other reveals way earlier in the year, I think. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. A little bit of the news, a little bit of a rant, whatever. And yeah, I'll catch you guys at the war table for Marvel's Avengers, or I'll catch you for some other videos. And don't forget that, you know, Hawkeye watch party that we do on Tuesdays, 10:30 p.m. PST. It's always fun. Always find new people. And yeah, we have a good time. So I'll catch you later. Peace.